we didn't get a chance to talk about during the Backyard Farmer season was plant protection. And during the fall, you know, here we are in late fall, we want to go out and evaluate the plants in our yard, and the ones that, at least in my mind, I find precious, I want to get out there and protect from rabbits and other animals that might come in and eat them, chew them back, dig around them, that sort of thing. There's a lot of different approaches to trying to protect your plants. There's some fairly attractive plastic fencing that's light and easy to use and easy to cut. We've had some issues with those here on campus. It seems like more persistent rabbits or squirrels will chew holes right through them. One will discover that they can get through them, and then the others seem to follow their lead and go all the way through. So that's why we really rely on some sort of wire mesh, wire fence, chicken fence that we might think of. So you can see here we have some individual plants that we've put just some light duty fiberglass stakes with these chicken fence circles around them. They're easy to attach. We just use zip ties to connect them. So it's really a pretty simple process. You know, some things to consider when purchasing your fence. It'll come in various widths, and you want to try to think, depending on your personal situation, if you have deer, perhaps that may be a problem in your area, and rabbits, you're going to want to go with a little bit higher fence, so that way we don't get something over the top browsing. Also, if it's an area that may drift with snow, that sometimes will be a kind of a surprise where the snow will drift up, the animals will be able to get into that area and do some damage. So you have to kind of watch that too. So, you know, we're looking at somewhere between 2 and 3 foot tall fence typically will protect the plants pretty well. So periodically you're going to want to get out and check them when different things, even, you know, kids playing soccer in the backyard will knock things over. So you're going to want to check on them occasionally. Another approach, instead of these individuals, to look at a bigger planting, a group planting. So if you have something where you have some trees and some shrubs, you don't want to do a loop around each one. You may have to end up purchasing a little bit more fence, but then surrounding the entire area by the fence. Things you may consider when doing something like that is a little stouter pole or post to put in the ground so that it's a little firmer and will hold that fence up a little bit better than these lighter weight posts. Throughout the season, we talk about mulch a lot. A lot of times that'll solve a lot of our landscape problems. In the fall, in particular, is an important time to top dress your mulch, update your mulching, maybe mulch some plants you haven't mulched throughout the year. It helps to keep the moisture in the ground, protect the roots throughout the winter, and kind of mitigate any issues we might have with extreme warm-ups and cool downs throughout the winter months. So what Stan's working on right here is just adding top dressing some mulch around this big oak that we have here. Some things that Stan has done before we've done this mulching is give things a good drink. We want to soak things down before we add mulch on top. It helps to kind of lock some of that moisture in. He's gonna, like he typically does, avoid piling mulch around the base of the trees. We can get some rodent damage and that sort of thing, insect damage at the base of plants, trees and shrubs, especially young ones, if we have mulch piled up against that. So we want to pull the mulch away, have it a little thinner there and a little thicker as we go out. 3 to 4 inches of mulch will probably do you, and that'll get you through the winter in good shape. So as we go into fall, a couple things to remember. First, we want to make sure we clean up any of those leaves around our yard. Easy just to mow them up, mulch up, they disintegrate pretty quick. I like to pull mine out of the shrubs and around the trees and get them out in the yard and mow those up. And that way we get rid of the disease and insects that might be harbored by those leaves coming off the trees and shrubs. Secondly, we want to think about our fencing, making sure we get out and either do it individually or mass plantings. Use a good wire mesh fence, good posts, make sure it's secure. Thirdly, we want to make sure we get out there and get our things watered. We talked about that in the past. We want to water real well. I like to think about trying to do it on the holidays as we go through the winter months, especially if we don't have a lot of snow, a lot of moisture. It'll keep things going well through the winter. And then adding that mulch on top so we seal in that water, and that'll get our plants ready for spring.